Work is hard. I've had an exhausting week. Like most weeks are very exhausting because I have a very physical job that I do, and I'm gonna keep this vague because I'm still not entirely sure what I'm allowed to say or not about my job. But basically, I work for a company that has a contract with the government, and we shelve and sort and do all kinds of things with government files. And what we do takes a lot of muscle power, and I'm fine with that. In fact, I do better than some of the other people when it comes to shelving just because I'm so strong and because I have such powerful legs. I can push carts full of 10 boxes of files up ramps, even. I'm fine at that aspect of it. However, there is a very strict quota system for pretty much all the tasks, and we're expected to do so much for a certain time period, basically. And with some things, I meet quota and go over. Some other things, not so much. And I always feel bad when I'm not fast enough to please my supervisor and, not to mention the company and the government as a whole. Because we have a lot of work to do and everybody has to be faster than they are. That's just a fact. If our company is going to get out of overtime. And so it's a high stress job because there's a lot of pressure to be fast. But what I find that stresses me out is in trying to be fast, that also increases the risk of making mistakes. And we can't afford to make mistakes. Not with the importance of this job that we've been trusted with. And nobody takes it more seriously than I do. For more than one reason. Both because of the importance of these files that we've been trusted with by the government, and also because this job is how I make my money. It's how I pay my bills and my rent for my apartment, and how I get my health insurance. So my job is important to me for that reason as well, as a lot of people's jobs are. However, my situation is different than other people's. And here's what's got me worried. See, if other people get fired from a job, they think, oh, well, I'll just get another job. They think that they can get another job, and they probably can. Because other people have more options. See, other people who do have cars and who can drive to a wider range of jobs in different cities have a higher chance of getting a job. People with college degrees or people who graduated high school have a higher chance of getting a job than I do. Now, I got my GED, but I will tell you there is discrimination against homeschoolers. And because I was homeschooled by my mother, there are people who don't think that I got a valid education. And so a person with a high school diploma still has a better chance of getting jobs than someone who was homeschooled. So there's a tremendous amount of discrimination against people like me. And everybody treats me like I'm stupid because I don't have a car. And they think that having a car would solve all my problems. Although I've done the math and the expenses of a car and I decide it's not something I want. Plus, I'm a nervous wreck enough as it is just trying to work my job. I don't need the stress of trying to drive. I get Uber rides to work in the winter because it's cold. And everywhere, most places I walk or bike. So I don't even want a car. But the thing is, I like my job on the days that I'm good at it. But I had a really bad day at work yesterday. Although it still feels like today because I got off at 1 in the morning. So my work day was mostly Friday, but then slightly into Saturday. So it's early on Saturday morning. And I'm just very depressed. I'm very sad because I'm still too slow at sorting. And I spent too much time trying to find a file that wasn't there. And I'm a little bit worried about what happened to that file. And at the earliest, I would find out what happened to it um, Monday possibly. And so I can't enjoy my weekend because I'm worried that I'm going to get fired from my job for not finding a file or because I'm too slow. And so there's this constant worry and fear because if I were to lose this job, it would destroy me in so many ways. I worry about that because I finally achieved my freedom, living in this apartment, and my happiness, and I don't want it to be taken away from me. I would rather die than lose what I've attained so far. Nobody tries harder at my job than I do, but let me tell you, some people are more talented. Some people have been there in less time, and yet they can do some of the tasks faster than I can. I have the fastest body, but other people have the fastest mind. And I never really thought I was retarded until I tried to work this job. I have some real challenges when it comes to some of these things. I'm kind of slow, and there are other people who can goof off and spend too much time socializing, but they still get their tasks done faster than I do with less effort. Other people don't have to try as hard, and they still can do a better job than I can, and I'm putting everything I have into it. I'm stressed out for my job, not because of the long hours. You know, we're in overtime, and sometimes I'm working 45, sometimes 50 hours in a week. That's not what stresses me out. What stresses me out is feeling like I'm going to get fired every time I'm too slow or every time I make the slightest mistake. And that's the thing about me is anybody who has seen my online activity, the things I post on social media or what I post on my YouTube channel, knows that I don't care about people's opinions of me. I don't really care what people think of me very much. You will figure that out very soon if you watch my YouTube channel. I don't care about someone's opinion. I don't care about that. And the truth is, it's not that I care about the opinions of the people over me in my job. I don't care about their opinion. I only care about their power to fire me, their power to take away my job from me. I only fear what they can do to me financially, but I don't fear anybody's opinion. Some people, they get so bent and twisted by the pressure of people that they conform. Other people will do drugs and have sex and pretend to believe a religion they don't, and try to hide their sexual orientation or gender identity and stuff like that. Other people try to hide several aspects about themselves because they're worried that somebody won't like them. And truth be told, I don't need people to like me. I don't care if people like me. I just need to keep my job so I have money to pay my bills, buy food, and pay my rent. That's all I really care about when it comes down to it, as far as that goes. And beyond that, I spend my free time trying to promote nonviolence, with the key aspect of that being veganism, of course. everyone knows that I'm an ethical vegan and do everything I can to avoid doing anything that harms animals. And that's pretty much all that somebody ever needs to know about me. I'm just doing my best to, live my life and be happy and not hurt anyone else in the process. And some days I do pretty good, but the one worry that I have, the one fear that I have is losing my job. And so that's what's going on. I should be happy right now. It's just that things didn't really go so well yesterday at work. And whenever there's a bad day, I just think, am I really cut out for this job? Can I keep this job? But I also have good days. Days where I'm doing so well that I'm confident at my job. So I have my ups and downs, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if people will be patient with me while I try to meet standards, or if they'll get rid of me, which I hope not. Because you know something? Most people don't try as hard at this job as I do because other people don't need to try as hard. Because they know that they have a backup plan. Other people have a plan B. Other people can try to get other jobs. They have other ways. They have people they can depend on financially. They have friends and relatives that can help them out. And the truth is, I really don't have a support system. I don't really have a safety net. If I can't do well enough at this job to maintain it, I'll be destroyed. And I know that. But beyond that, there is always that nagging feeling, that knowledge that no matter how good things may happen to be, even if I do really well at my job, let's say I become a millionaire and I retire and I do many great things in my life, which is the plan, of course, I haven't forgotten that someday I'm going to die. I know that. And most people don't live with that awareness every day that they're going to die. In fact, I'll probably die by a work-related injury. A lot of people have died at this job. It is dangerous sometimes. But the thing is, I'm the smart one. And you know why I'm the smart one? Because when I do die, I won't have a spouse and kids that will grieve over me and that will be depending on me. When I die, it will be my death alone. And nobody else will be hurt by it. And you know what? Nobody will really care, I don't think. And besides, even if they do care, what can they do? Death comes to us all. And bad things happen to us all. But I do feel good about the fact that I make sure that my suffering doesn't hurt anyone else. And I think it's good to remember that there is no security in life. Anything could happen to any of us. People can get fired from their jobs and die starving and homeless, which is what I'm afraid will happen to me. People can get shot to death in a public school or movie theater, or get an atomic bomb dropped on them. Things happen. People get killed. No matter how good they try to live their lives, bad things happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people. And you know what? That's something I have observed in my 32 and a half years of life. There is no justice. What happens to you in your life doesn't really change based on how good or bad of a person you are. And you don't get what you deserve. That's not how it works. And you can agree or disagree with that statement, but that's what I've seen, and that's what I know to be true. So, anyway, that's just my little rant after a long, hard week at work. And I hope it gets better because right now I'm just not feeling very confident in my job. But maybe that'll change, maybe things will improve. So, that's all I have to say about that.